This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee, and let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, all praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishop, and elders, a great millstone that rule well, and peace and blessings be multiplied on all you brethren pushing this word in all sincerity and in truth. To the hopeful elect, the 144,000, Shalom. It's the brother Dama Agabar here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, and as we have been commanded to do, we're commanded to speak in the ears of our people, which are the 12 tribes of Israel, which consist of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the words of prophecy, which means to say before. All right, and one of the major prophecies that we're been prophesying and speaking about is the MOTB, which is the mark of the beast, which is going to come in the form of a central bank digital currency, which will be the only way that you will be able to buy or sell or function inside of this man's new world order is by having this implantable micro C-hip subdermally implanted into your right hand or in your forehead or in your left hand or anywhere upon your body. That's how you will be able to buy or sell or function within this digital system that this man Esau Edom the wicked is promoting and is establishing. And, here at Great Millstone, we get a lot of slack and a lot of negative, incredulity or unbelief from these other Israelite camps from the like of the IUIC, the ISUPK, Wi-Fi, and these other little fringe Israelite groups who don't believe that the MOTB is the micro C-hip, which they will all be proven wrong. They will all be shown to be false prophets, when, this MOTB will be presented, in the near future. But it is our duty and our job to come out and to speak these things into the ears of the people, whether they hear or whether they forbear. And like the scriptures say, all of you unfaithful doubters, you don't want to believe it. Ultimately, a lot of these Israelite groups don't want to believe it ultimately because Great Millstone says it. And they have too much pride and arrogance and ego to admit that they're wrong and we're right. And when everything that they say that the MOTB is makes absolutely no sense and they cannot prove how you'll be able to buy or sell with sin. I was watching Elder Apostle Tahar's video maybe about 30 minutes ago, where he was highlighting the IUIC's blunder of the MOTB, basically saying that, if you're caught up in the ways and the philosophy and the, thought process of America, that's how basically you have the MOTB, which is absolutely stupid. It doesn't make any sense. They said, if you're sleeping with white women, if you're caught up in the ways of America, the holidays, the religion and Christianity, and all these different things, then you have the MOTB, which if that was the case, you niggas have the MOTB. All right. Because according to your logic, you're still buying and selling, after you left camp, as Elder Apostle Tahar said, after you left camp, you went to a restaurant, you put gas in your car, you were able to function and buy and sell in this man's society. So by default, you have the MOTB, you see, which these guys, they're showing themselves to be unprofitable and false prophets, amongst many other blunders and, whack and wrong breakdowns, which they, blatantly commit. But the point being is that, hey, it's our job and our duty to report on these things. And as you can see here from Zero Hedge, it says cashless society. Excuse me. It says the WEF boasts that 98% of central banks are adopting CBDCs. All right. And what are CBDCs? Central bank digital currencies. And we heard it from the mouth. I always forget this guy's name, but he's one of those higher ups. He's one. I think he was. I don't know if he was the head of the World Bank or the International Monetary Fund, or maybe he was just somebody speaking out against it. But he said that they told him basically the CBDC will look like the size of a grain of rice, and he did his hand to signify, a very small micro C-hip. You see, and that's why Klaus Schwab said that if you people don't integrate with the technology and with, form with, merge with technology and transhumanism, you will be separated from this future society that these elites are trying to build. And one way they're going to deceive and lure you people into this NWO or whatever you want to call it, this one world government, this technocracy, this beast system, is by, putting this MOTB within you to where they can have total control over every aspect of your life, man. All right. They're going to decide whether you can buy or sell, where you can buy and sell, whether you can travel, whether you can have this, whether you can have that. You're going to have social credit scores. They're going to be spying on you from space, tracking your carbon footprint from space to seeing how much, natural resources you are consuming. And they're going to control, every aspect of that. They're going to tell you how much natural resources or carbon you can consume upon this planet Earth. And it's going to be cemented via you taking that MOTB, which is the mark of the beast. All right. But I'm not going to read all this article. I just want to just get down to the main points of it, and just showing you that, look, all of these, and it's a 98%, it might as well be 100%, because even if you have 2% of banks or private banks or whatever type of, system or business or institution or whatever that don't want to get down with, this new digital beast system that they're going to create, then you'll just be canceled. You'll be separated. You won't be able to have a business, or these businesses that grow a conscience and might come to the realization that this is evil. It's a form of oppression. It takes away the rights of the American citizens, and we're not for it. Then guess what? They'll just cut you off, man. They'll totally ban you from being able to function within the society, and you'll go bankrupt and you won't have a goddamn thing. You see, and this is why the scriptures tell you they're going to cause all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive that MOTB, because without it, you'll be locked out of this system and this way of the world that they're creating. Point blank, period. If you don't want to come under their control, if you don't want to come, from under what they're establishing, then guess what? You'll be killed, man. You'll starve to death. They don't give a damn. You can jump off a bridge. You could, literally just starve to death. It wouldn't make no difference unto them, because, this is the way that things are going. It says, see, and everything's going to be linked to this new system that they're created. All right. So I'm gonna get to the main point. It says the WEF recently boasted in a new white paper that 98% of all central banks are now pursuing CBDC programs. The report, titled "Modernizing Financial Markets with Wholesale Central Bank Digital Currency," notes. The CEBM is an idea for systematically important transactions despite the emergence of alternative payment instruments. Wholesale central bank digital currencies that's what the W stand for. Wholesale central bank digital currencies is a form of CEBM that can unlock new economic models and integration points that are not possible today. It says the paper primarily focuses on the streamlining of cross-border transaction, an effort which the Bank for International Settlements has been deeply involved in for the past few years. It also highlights an odd concept of differentiated CBDC mechanisms, each one specifically designed to be used by different institutions for different reasons. Wholesale CBDs will be used only by banking institutions, governments, and some global corporations, as opposed to retail CBDC, which will be reserved for the regular population. It says how the value and buying power of wholesale CBDCs would differ is not clear, but it's easy to guess that these devices would give banks institutions a greater ability to homogenize international currencies and transactions. In other words, it's the path to an eventual global currency model. Yeah, it's going to be one system, one global system for everybody all over the earth, man. One banking system, one charagma. You see, it says by extension, the adoption of CBDCs by governments and global banks will ultimately lead to what the WEF calls dematerialization, the removal of physical securities and money. You see, the WEF states, as with the Bank of England's RTGS modernization program, the intention is to introduce a fully digitized security system that is future-proofed for incremental adoption of DLT distributed ledger technology. The tokenization of assets involve creating digital tokens representing underlying assets like real estate, equities, digital art, intellectual property, and even cash. Tokenization is a key use case for blockchain, with some estimates pointing towards 4.5 trillion in tokenized securities on a DLT, a distributed ledger technology, by 2030. You see, so everything is going to be on the fucking on this digital type of system, and they'll have the control and the power to to have the rights and ownership of everything. It says, finally, they let the cat out of the bag. The BIS proposed two models for bringing tokenization into the monetary system. One, bring CBDCs, DTs, and tokenized assets onto a common unified ledger. And two, pursue incremental progress by creating interlinking systems. They determined the latter option was more feasible given that the former requires a reimagination of financial systems. Experimentation with the unified ledger concept is ongoing. You see? It says the unified ledger is essentially another term for a one world digital currency system completely centralized and under the control of the global banks like the BIS and the IMF. You see, total and complete control, man. That's why they say you're going to own nothing and you'll love it, man. Whatever they give you, whatever you'll have, whatever you'll own, it'll ultimately be loaned unto you. It basically, you might think you have it, but really it's under, it's all under their control. And anytime they want to, they can take it from you. They can give it to you. They can, allow you to have however much of whatever it is that you are trying to receive at their discretion. It says the WEF and the BIS are acknowledging the difficulty of introducing such a system without opposition, so they are recommending incremental introduction using interlinking systems, attaching CBDCs to paper currencies and physical contracts, and then slowly but surely dematerializing those assets and making the digital the new norm is the totalitarian tiptoe. The BIS predicts there will be at least 9 major CBDCs in circulation by the year 2030. This is likely an understatement of the intended plan. Globalists have hinted in the past that they prefer total digitization by 2030. It says a cashless society would be the end game for economic anonymity and freedom in trade. See, you won't be able to trade. There's not going to be no stock market. You're not going to have stocks and bonds, and you're going to be trading and doing all these things, sending cash apps and, having side jobs and side hustles and accumulating any type of, savings and bank accounts and financial freedom, man. Everything that you have will be solely under their control. And anything that they want you to have, they'll give it to you. All right. And at any time they want to, they can take those things and lock you out and shut you out. You see, everything that you buy and sell will be monitored. Everything that you do, every aspect of your life is going to be based off of, your carbon footprint, how much of the resources of the earth you're using. And anytime they feel like you're using too much, they'll be able to cut you off and to tell you, look, you can't do this anymore. And it's going to be linked to everything, how you travel, traveling, how much food you can eat, how much food you can buy. How much gas you can consume, how much you can travel, if you can get on an airplane. Everything is going to be totally under their control, man. Even the house and the apartment that you're going to live in is going to ultimately be in their control, and it's going to be loaned out to you. Anytime that you buck up, anytime that your social credit score drops, anytime that you do something that they don't deem appropriate, man, hey, you can be digitally punished and restricted. You see, it's going to be basically you're going to do whatever you're told so that you can receive your universal basic income, your CBDCs for the month, your basically your monthly allowance and your monthly, daily necessities are all going to be based upon, they're going to be able to dictate what you can have and what you can't, man. It's complete and utter hell. It says, It says, unless alternative physical currencies are widely adopted in the protest, CBDCs will make all transactions traceable and easily interrupted by governments and banks. You see, everything, man. You think you're going to get on the train one day and just travel? Hey, if you used up so much of your travel credits or your carbon footprint allowance, hey, you try to get in the car, it's not going to start. You want to get on the train, they're not going to let you. They're going to tell you to go home and wait, 2 weeks, 3 weeks until, you're allowed to consume, and Use that. Use carbon to do whatever you got to do. You know, you ate too much chicken or too much steak or too many, or you drink too much water that month. Hey, next time you try to go and purchase water, they have the control to just stop you from doing it. You see? It says, imagine in a world in which all trade is monitored, all revenues are monitored, and transactions can be blocked if they are found to offend the mandates of the system. Yes, these things do. It says, yes, these things do happen today, but with physical cash, they can be circumvented. And that's why they want this cashless digital society to stamp out all of that moving around and having side hustles and, wheeling and dealing and bartering without their control. It says, imagine a world where your ability to spend money can be limited to certain retailers, certain services, certain products, and choosing regions based on your politics and your social credit score and your background. The control that comes with CBDC is immense and allows for complete micromanagement of the population. The fact that 98% of central banks are already adopting this technology should be one of the biggest news stories of the decade, yet it goes completely ignored. Yeah, it might as well be 100%. You see, and how are they going to culminate this? How is it all going to come into, fruition, and how you'll be locked and, cemented into this system is by this. This is Revelations chapter 13, verse 16. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bound, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. You see, and 98% of the banking system is already on board. So imagine how much all the other industries, from retailers, food manufacturers, these different sectors of travel, airplanes, these car manufacturers. Why do you think they're making all these newer cars with kill switches and the ability to lock you out or lock you in these cars, or just they have the power to shut them off? You see, and they have control over every sector of every form of transaction in business these devils have brought up, and they're all putting the same system inside of all of these different major corporations. Instagram, Facebook, Google. You want to get on the internet, they're all going to be controlled by this same system, man. Where you're going to have permission, and you're going to have the right requirements in order to even deal with going online, having a so-called bank account, having a job, you see? And this system is going to be controlled under this, tyrannical system. You see? It says free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, which is the charagma, man. It says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And see, and they're going to use these CBDCs as the precursor ultimately to giving you the MOTB. All right. Because without it, guess what? You can't function. You can't interact with society. You can't go into that grocery store. You can't go into that DMV. You can't go into, to that airport. You can't do shit. You won't exist. You won't have the proper credentials to even be recognized to operate, man. You see, and it's all going to come in the form of that micro C hit, which we've been prophesying and telling you ad nauseum, man. And now it's here. And like I said, a lot of these false prophets that don't want to deal with it, that don't want to see it, hey, like Elder Apostle Tahar keeps saying, you're going to be shook up when these things happen because you denied it, you mocked, you scoffed against it, you lied about what it is, and then the Lord's going to end up putting a spirit on you to take this shit, and you're going to be destroyed in the presence of Yahweh Shai and the holy angels, man. But as we can see, hey, everything is going according to prophecy, and listen to the true prophets and the true men of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. Don't be deceived by these other phony Israelite groups giving you gray areas and, low key telling you that the Lord don't give a damn if you take a micro C hip. You got to eat, don't you? So you listen to these niggas if you want to. These same guys that told you to take that jump shot, they're going to be the same guys that's going to tell you it's going to be okay to bow down and worship this man's image and to receive his mark in your right hand or in your forehead to your utter destruction. And remember, and we're living in the time of the false prophets, man. So don't be deceived. Don't be sold a dream out here, man. Hey, be circumspect. So with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. All praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. Lord willing, you were edified. Shalom.